go nowhere.
Right.
But focus on being more of a consultant because that's what's going to make you win.
Nice.
Yeah.
With the onset of AI, how's that changed the
It
landscape
has
a bit?
changed drastically. As I mentioned, you have to have a consultative mindset. So thinking of like a strategic thinker.
Yeah.
How is this going to impact the business? Like they want you to come in on day one,
Yeah.
learning how to be of value to the team.
Yep.
And I think now gone are the days where you just become a scrum master
Right.
and you just running ceremonies. Like
Very
we're
different.
we're past that. Like we're
Exactly.
not you're
Yeah.
not going into running ceremonies. Like they're doing the what I call the 2-for-1 deal now, which is you're gonna be a scrum master and a project manager, or you're gonna be a crisis manager
Yeah.
and a stakeholder manager. Like you pick your poison.
Yep. Hey, what up, fam? This is Saul Levy, host African Tech. On our episode today, we got Nimi Bello, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Bet. Nimi, I don't know if I pinged you on Instagram or my assistant did. Was it me?
So at this nowadays we can never tell with AI. So it probably was you. I'm gonna assume it was you because it was really personable. So it was good. So yes,
good.
I think it was you.
Awesome.
And I know we connected through
Abdi.
Yes,
that's right.
Abdi.
Yes.
Shout out to Abdi.
Yeah. Shout out Abdi on it. So Abdi put me like in a group of like 40 different people, like not 40, but I'm kidding. Like he's like, yeah, I'm gonna hook you up with this person. But shout out Abdi.
Yeah,
you really got me.
That sounds like Abdi.
But you agreed to do the pod, so
yes.
really grateful that you're here.
No, thanks for having me. Humbled. Always a pleasure to support other Africans that are doing amazing things. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So what we usually do is just have people introduce themselves. Just a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
None technical, just who you are.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Okay.
Cool.
So as I look over here, this is my camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's you.
So hello everyone. My name is Nimi Bello. I am the founder and CEO of Link Empower. I have spent the last 10 plus years in the Agile and Scrum space. So I wear a lot of different hats, but I would say the most important hat for me is being a mom.
Okay.
I'm a mom of 2 boys, and they are my inspiration in everything that I do. I'm also a proud Nigerian.
Okay. All right.
In case
awesome.
you couldn't tell.
Yeah. That's awesome. Did you grow up in Nigeria?
I did.
Yeah.
I lived in Nigeria for 10 years.
Okay. Nice. And then did you move straight to Georgia?
Yeah. So I was born in Jersey.
Okay.
So I'm a fake Jerseyan. If y'all watching, it's like, oh, you from the... No. I'm fake Jerseyan.
Okay.
I was born in Jersey, moved from Jersey when I was 18 months old.
Okay.
And then I moved to Nigeria, lived in Nigeria for 10 years.
Gotcha.
And then I moved to Georgia. So I am a Nigerian Georgia peach.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay. Why they moved to Nigeria?
My mom, so my parents were going through a separation.
Okay.
They were going through that. So I have a big family, blended family. So my parents are both immigrants.
Okay.
So my dad actually came here to the States on an Air Force visa. And to be honest, and I look back, I'm like, why did y'all get married in the first place? Y'all were not compatible. But I love both of them dearly. Yeah. And I feel like they've kind of been the driving force of me doing the purpose work that I do now. So
Gotcha.
I'm a bridge for my family. I'm the one that is kind of like the glue that brings everybody together.
That's
I'm
awesome.
why we have to kind of like coexist.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only child between them. So I feel like that has kind of now gone into the life work that I do now. So
Gotcha.
which is being a connector.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. You said your dad came here with the Air Force?
Yes, he was in the Air Force. He was in the Air Force. He came on the Air Force visa. And that's kind of what led him to building a family here.
Okay.
And my siblings and I were fortunate enough to be the American dream for our parents, which was to be born in the States. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
How's your time back in Nigeria?
It was honestly, if you live anywhere, I think you can probably relate. Anywhere on the continent, you can never forget the experience.
Yep.
I feel like living in Nigeria was a very humbling beginning for me. I grew up with my grandmother. So a lot of I feel like my core values and my upbringing and my belief system were shaped in that regard. And I feel like it's kind of followed me even when I moved here to America.
Gotcha.
So I grew up with my grandmother, grew up with my mom's sister, and just was surrounded by family. So I've always been around family. I've always been around people. I don't know what that feels like, just being by yourself.
Yeah.
So that kind of also led me to becoming a servant leader when I think about it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you came here, you said 10, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then what was the reason coming back?
Coming back was to come live with my mom because I was living with my grandmother, as I mentioned.
Gotcha.
So I came back and my mom was remarried. I had 2 brothers at that time. So I came into a blended family here. So went from being an only child with cousins in Nigeria, living with my grandmother, and then coming here and then now being integrated into family with my brothers, and the rest is history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. Okay. And then your mom, what did she do?
So my mom, now my mom is an educator.
Okay.
So she recently graduated. I'm so proud of her. She just finished her program
Shout out, Mom.
at GGC. Okay. She just graduated recently in May. And I think it's really beautiful to see your parents live their dreams. Yeah. It's like, it kind of does something to you. Yeah. And especially because my mom is in her 60s. If I'm being transparent, she's in her 60s. So a lot of her time was spent taking care of us, raising her kids, being a wife, trying to navigate the landscape of the United States, trying to build her life and her career. And I think sometimes it wasn't until I became a mom myself that I understood how much my mother has sacrificed for us. So I feel like a lot of the things that she's doing now, it's like she's living life for herself on her own terms. Yeah. Okay.
No, that's cool. Yeah. And then what about your stepdad?
So my stepdad, he's done some stuff in the cab business, limousine business. Okay. And I think we've also kind of watched him also build community. He's heavily involved in the Caliber and the Ethic community. Okay. And servant leadership is a reoccurrence, and community, it's a reoccurrence in my life. Okay. And even I would say even with my dad and my stepmom, may her soul rest in peace. Yeah. She passed away. It's been 2 years now. She had cancer. And that was something that was really challenging for the family. So navigating that space for my siblings, most of my siblings, some of them are in Atlanta, and then some of them are also in New York.
Gotcha.
So kind of, again, going back to being that bridge. So right now I feel like I'm in a season where I'm wearing multiple hats. I got to be support for my family. I got to be there for my kids. Got to be there for my dad and my mom. So it's like, it's very different, but I feel like God puts people in certain situations for whatever reason. Yeah. And I feel like right now in this season, it's to be of service in different capacity.
Okay. Were you like serving that same capacity when you were younger?
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
I've always been in that situation of having a heart posture for service. As I mentioned, I grew up with my grandmother. Yeah. So I watched my grandmother take care of other kids. Yeah. My grandmother was somebody who was like the mother to all.
Gotcha.
in where we grew up.
Yeah.
So I watched her do that, and she was a seamstress. She was a nurse, and she would sew uniforms for the nurses. So I watched her be industrious and also take care of other people's kids as well. So that's kind of where that mindset came from.
Okay. So I think a natural question people ask is like, do you feel as if like you were able to be a child?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I would say yes and no, because in Nigeria, I remember the birthday parties.
Yeah.
My mom's sister, she's an event planner. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember a birthday that wasn't over the top. It wasn't well celebrated.
Yeah.
So I remember us just there's a picture that I have that I always remember. It's me and my cousin. I'm wearing like a pink dress and a whole bunch of kids behind us with a cake. And then my aunt is there to the side doing what she does, which is, commanding everybody to kind of get into the picture. Yeah. So I just always remember that picture, and it just goes back to just community. Yeah. It really does take a village to raise a child.
Definitely.
And I never felt alone. I never felt abandoned or anything like that, because family was always constant. So I would say that experience did a lot for me. I think sometimes, like, even now as I'm talking about it, I'm like, wow, like, that was what community was like,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So let's talk about school a little bit. Like, what'd you go to school for?
So that's a loaded question. That's a loaded question, because initially I was supposed to be a physical therapist.
Okay.
That was what I was supposed to go to school, because we all know you only go to school to become a lawyer, doctor, you know how that goes. School was challenging for me.
Okay.
And I think in my 30s, I now know why.
Yeah.
I was a creative. I was multifaceted. I wanted to be in a creative headspace for the most part.
Yeah.
And I ended up graduating with a communications degree. because I wanted to be done with school.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Not because I was passionate about communication,
Yeah.
but now that I look back to the things that I've done in my career and in business, and communication is really, really important.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know how to communicate.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to put on a camera and start talking to people and be vulnerable. Like, they don't know how to do all those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think graduating with a communications degree was God's design for me, because he knew that I was going to need those skill sets to do the things that I'm doing now.
Yep.
So I've been able to invest more as a communicator. I've done Toastmasters. I've done
Nice.
different challenges. I've taken communication classes to perfect my craft, and I've done podcast. Like, I've done a lot of different things. And to be very transparent, I used to be afraid of speaking.
Yeah.
I used to be afraid of speaking because I was the Nigerian girl that came here with an accent.
Okay.
And then on top of that, remember, I moved here when I was 10.
Yeah.
So I live in the South. We talk fast. So, and I'm Nigerian. I talk fast. So I didn't like speaking. Like, I would just be blubbering, just talking.
Yeah.
But I did learn from Toastmasters how to pace myself and how to position myself and how to, sound more polished and be more professional. And then I went to PWI. So that kind of just helped out a whole bunch.
Nice. Yeah, there's a young lady that was on a pod maybe a few months ago. No, actually about a month or so ago. And she talked about how she doesn't like public speaking. And the funny thing is, she asked me, like, oh, you're so poised and all this other stuff. I'm like, I actually hate public speaking. I hate it. I can do well at it, but like I can put on like my facade show, but I just hate it.
Yeah.
But I just do it just because, like,
it's what you do.
Right.
It's what you do. And I think for me, it's people don't understand the power of speaking, what it does to people. And your voice truly does matter. I hope people watching this understand that you should be practicing your speaking and your tonality, your delivery. Like, those things are important.
Yep.
Because it helps you to sell yourself too.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think that's something that I've had to learn in my journey. And I think for me, Clubhouse also helped me a lot.
Gotcha.
Because Clubhouse helped me build a confidence that I did not know that I had. So it was like free public speaking for me. So it really helped to build the confidence, to build commanding the room, everything.
Right.
So when I did all that practice and I went in front of stages, it gets easier the more you do it. It's like going to the gym. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Definitely. Yeah. I talk about Toastmasters because people don't really. Some people may not know what Toastmasters even is.
Yeah, so Toastmasters is a world-renowned organization, and their focus is to help you with speaking. So how you show up to not just speaking at conferences or events, just in general. So if you have an issue with talking fast, delivering a message, your tone, how you want to position things. I know for me as a Black woman, a lot of the feedback that we get is we're very, very aggressive. We're very aggressive. And I'm also Nigerian. So learning how to use your body language, like as you can see, as I'm speaking, my hands are in a certain way. I want you to kind of be invited into the conversation and not kind of shying away from me. And I'm talking really slow. These are the things that Toastmasters has helped me to build. So they help you to just practice, just get better at speaking. And they do it at your pace too. Yeah. You meet with different people, and they now offer it online too, for what I've seen. So a lot of companies too, you can expense it. If you're watching this, you're like, hey, how do I get it? Check and see. Your company sometimes can expense for you to do Toastmasters. So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so as a kid, you were trying to figure out communication and all that jazz. And you went to Kennesaw State, right?
I did. Okay. Go Owls.
Okay. Did you do any internships while at Kennesaw?
So funny thing is, I would say yes and no. I did internships. Okay. I've always been a hustler. Now that I think about it, I've always done the networking thing. You know, before it was cool, I've been doing the networking thing. So I was fortunate enough to work for an optometrist when I was in school. Okay. So I lived a lot of different lives. So y'all gonna be like, wait, what? Optometry? Where did that come from? Yeah. So I was working for an optometrist, and she was just amazing at just allowing me to kind of just build myself, really. Yeah. So I would get curious. I would see like the eye reps that would come in. They're selling equipment. And I just asked questions like, okay, what do y'all do?
Yeah.
What do y'all do? What is that? Like, because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was done with school, if I'm being honest. I'm like, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to graduate and then I'm going to go. And first of all, I failed anatomy like 3 times.
A&P gets you.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I was trying to go to physical therapy school. I was trying to figure it out. And I was also working full time. So I was a non-traditional student.
Gotcha.
So I wasn't fortunate enough to have a full ride scholarship and just cruising to school. I actually spent additional 2 years in college, if I'm being honest.
Yep.
And then I graduated because just circumstances were circumstances for me. You know, I had to work. I didn't have it where I had the financial support. So I was hustling. So got the job, was working in a Walmart. And Dr. Ahmad was very open and just very like willing to like, hey, you know, you can work here, you know, however you got to do. Because I was going to Kennesaw State and I was driving all the way to Dunwoody at that time. Okay. Because she was in that Walmart in Dunwoody. Okay. So I would come out there, and then she was in 2 locations. She was in the Dunwoody location, and she was in Alpharetta. Okay. So I would go between those 2 offices and just help out with, you know, just office work and everything. So, gotcha. But I would see the reps coming in, and I would just start asking them questions, and that's kind of how I started building my networking skills unknowingly. Nice. So what happened from there was one of the reps from Zeiss, they are a lens company. Okay. So if you think about the Google Earth camera and different things, they kind of have those lenses. They're pretty popular. They're a German-based company. Nice. Okay. So I got familiar with one of the reps, and he gave me his card, and he was like, hey, you know, email me. Let's just stay in touch. I didn't know, again, what I wanted to do. So what did I do? The networking thing. Yeah. I sent an email, just not asking for anything, just off the strength of, hey, I think it was like Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And I had just sent an email just saying, hey, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you and your family are good. It was something like really simple. Yeah. And I remember he responded back saying, hey, you know, thanks for remembering me. Let's catch up. I'm going to be coming to Atlanta. We're actually going to be doing interviews in March. I went for the interview, and like they say, the rest is history. Okay. What was the role? The role was a sales rep. Okay. A sales rep, a business development, I think sales rep at that time. Okay. So it afforded me the opportunity to be able to travel within by road. Nice. So all the Carolinas, Alabama, Georgia, all those. So I had all of those accounts. Okay. Because we were supporting Walmart. Gotcha. So that was my first entry into networking when I look back at it. Nice. So just keeping the conversation going. So at that time, this is March. Okay. I graduated in May. Okay. So I was already job offer, ready to go before I walked across the stage. Nice. So graduated, and then a few days after I had my graduation party, I started my corporate career. Wow. Immediately after. Yeah, no, that's quick. That's quick. Yeah. Wow. What, if you don't mind, what were you getting paid then? Oh, so I was getting paid shit. I was getting paid like less than $40K. Okay. But what year was this? This was like 2013, 2014. But I guess it's not great, but I'm thinking you're single.
Young.
Oh yeah.
And then you got in corporate. It's like an entry level. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So around 40. Did you get bonuses or anything like that? Yeah, we had like bonuses and stuff, but it's like, but the timing wise, if you think about the timing, it wasn't bad because the economy wasn't where we are at right now. Right. And I was 25 or so. So it's like for a 25-year-old single female in Atlanta, and I was living in Buckhead, y'all. Oof. Okay. Okay. Check that. So I was living in Buckhead. Yeah. So the girls who know, like during that time period, living in Buckhead, you were doing good for yourself. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So how long were you in that sales role? I was in that sales role. I wasn't in there for, I would say 2 years. 2 years. 3 years. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Around there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And then what did you transition to? I transitioned to Kimberly-Clark. Okay. So Kimberly-Clark, so with the sales role, this is where I kind of started playing with technology. Gotcha. Because I had to know how to use Salesforce. Ah, okay. So I now transitioned into a CRM analyst. And then this is where they're like, hey, the thing of Scrum came about. Yeah. Got my certification because they were going to pay for it. Nice. Why not? Nice. So they were like, hey, we have this thing. I was like, sure, I would do it because I was really inquisitive. Yeah. And again,
I'm saying all this to say that I still did not know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure it out and getting paid doing it. So why not?
Yeah.
So moved over to Kimberly-Clark.
Okay.
Because at that time I was traveling by road, and I think I got tired of sales because I was good at it.
Okay.
I was good at it. So I got bored really easily. And then on top of that, was now expecting. Was pregnant with my son.
Okay.
So Kimberly-Clark was a good transition because I wouldn't be traveling on the road as much. And I was told that during the pregnancy, can't travel as much because I was doing a lot of traveling on the road.
Gotcha.
So they were like, nope, no more traveling for you. And then was on bed rest, did that. And then while I was still, was when I made the pivot.
Okay.
So I challenged myself. I was going to get my CSM.
Yeah.
Because it was new.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got my CSM and then moved into a role at Kimberly-Clark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then what year was this?
2015. Yeah.
Okay.
2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm in Splunk, and that's when it was like kind of hot getting in. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. 2014, 2015. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Scrum. Let's talk about that a bit.
Let's talk about it.
All right. What is Scrum?
Oh, Scrum, for those that are not familiar. So I'll start off with Agile. So Agile is a mindset. I'll start off that's the simplest way for me to define it. Mm-hmm. It's a mindset. Under the mindset, you have different frameworks. So you have Kanban, you have extreme programming, and you have Scrum. The most popular that most people are familiar with is Scrum, and then I would say it's Kanban. Yep. So if you're somebody, you're watching this, you're like, hey, what is she talking about? Google it, ChatGPT it. It's really straight to the point, but it's how we kind of get work done in the technology industry. That's the easiest and the most simplest way, because I don't want to get too technical. Yeah. Because I always have to remember that Scrum is still new to a lot of people. Yep. We're talking about 20 plus years since it's been in existence. So there's something called the Agile Manifesto. So if you're really, really nerdy and you're like, hey, I really want to understand what you're talking about, look into the Agile Manifesto, and it'll kind of give you a whole picture of kind of what this whole Scrum craze is. So that's really it. So Agile is the mindset, Scrum is a framework. So it's kind of like an umbrella under that.
Dope. And the reason I love that explanation is like you started off with it's a mindset. It's not just like something you do.
Correct.
You have to embrace it. Mm-hmm. So was there something that you did to kind of embrace like what it means?
Yeah. So I had to understand that you have to be it and not do it. Yep. I think that's a common misconception about what I do. Being an Agilist is something that you are, something that you do. Yep. You can't do Scrum. You have to be Scrum. Yep. You have to, or be Agile, like they say. Yep. So it's like practice it and then doing it in increments. Yep. You know, you want to be able to do it in small bites, break it down, and then you rinse and repeat.
Yeah. No, that's dope. Because I mean, it's not just like what you do at work, because you can integrate that in every facet of your life. Exactly. And it shows that people who actually like live and believe in that. So that's good.
And that's why I started off saying it's a mindset. Yep. Because it's something that you have to think about from a transformative perspective.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. So you got your cert, and then when did you get your first like Scrum job?
So the thing is with the Scrum role, you kind of like transition into it in some capacity. So I would say that when I got my CSM, I was able to now start utilizing it. Remember, I was in sales. Yeah. And I started doing stand-ups and doing, I started to find different ways to start practicing it.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I now took a risk.
Yeah.
I left a full-time job to take a job at a startup company that allowed me to practice being a Scrum Master.
Nice.
So a lot of people don't understand that sometimes when you want to grow, you got to take pay cuts. That's just it. Yeah. So my strategy was I took a contract opportunity at a startup company. And I did not know what the hell I was doing. Yeah. I just knew that I wanted to be a Scrum Master because it sounded cool at that time. I was in the time frame of people that it was either you're doing CRA or you were doing sales or you don't know what you were doing. Yeah. And I didn't like CRA. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. What's CRA?
It's, clinical research associate. Okay. So a lot of people are like, hey, you should try doing CRA. And I was like, nah, I'm always going to go the opposite.
Yeah.
I've always been a disruptor.
Gotcha.
And it probably won't change. So that's so I'm always going to go the opposite. So I didn't want to do the CRA thing. I felt like it was not my jam.
Gotcha.
So I think with Scrum and Agile, a lot of the value systems spoke to me as a person. It was very like, hey, doing things in increments, introspect, retrospective. It was very like, I like the humanness of this. You know, I like where this is going. It didn't really feel like it was technology per se.
Yeah.
But when I started working with engineers, I started getting into products, I started to see how it does shape technology. Nice. I started to understand it more, that it now kind of got very engraved into it, getting different certifications, doing it on the skilled and the enterprise level. So I just was very committed at that point.
Nice.
And I think different opportunities started to come out from that. So
okay, that's awesome. Cool. A lot of nuggets you said there. I think one of the biggest things that I've heard and others, including yourself, have said is understanding like the end goal. Yeah. When I started my career in tech, there are folks that were making like 120-ish, whatever it is. I think my first job I was making like $85K, which it's still good money. Right. But when you compare that to like the 120, 130, it's like I knew I wanted to learn and build from where I was at. Yep. And then from there, I knew I can make a lot more once I became a subject matter expert in my field. And I love the fact that you're able to kind of have the bigger picture. Like, if I really want to do this, I really need to be put in a position that's going to force me to learn. And
I think, honestly, everything happened very organically for me, but I was still doing the work. I was doing the work. I was building relationships. And I think for me, I allowed myself opportunity to pivot, wherever I felt needed. I didn't stay in my roles for a long time. Yeah. That's something that I think a lot of people don't talk about. Yeah. I didn't do a lot of, I didn't stay with a lot of companies for a long time too. Yeah. I moved around a lot because I wanted to grow. And then the more you move around, the more you get paid. Yep. So the more I moved around, the more my salary increased. Right. And I just started to just see like, wow, I was getting a lot of breadth. Yeah. So now the technology stacks that I was supporting were now changing. Yeah. The organizations I was working for were now changing. So I worked consulting, I've done financial, I've done manufacturing, I've done retail. Yep. So I moved around a lot. Yep. And I think that stretched me, which was a good thing. Yeah. And I think that's kind of where entrepreneurship kind of just was a natural progression after that.
Yeah. And again, another great point. I think a lot of people don't talk about that. Like moving around, job hopping. One, it just makes, linear sense. Right. Because you're learning, you're growing. Correct. With different technologies and applications you're learning. Yes. And then two, you're getting paid more because you're being more responsible for other tools and stuff like that. So I think it just makes natural sense to
it does. It does. And I think for me, where I had to kind of give my pat on the back was like, girl, you know what? You've done it. You did that. Yeah. Was when I think I came into Deloitte as a senior consultant. That barely happens because most people that get into like the big 4 consulting companies, you have to come in as like an intern most of the time. Yeah. Coming as an intern, and then you kind of work your way up. So a proud moment for me was when I interviewed and I came as a senior consultant. Gotcha. And then a year after that, now got promoted to management as a RTE, a release train engineer. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So that moment for me was a big deal. Because being a Black woman, you don't see a lot of women holding these kind of titles. Yep. And I remember when I posted about the promotion, the amount of Black women that also reached out to me was very humbling. That's dope. Like, like, wow, this is amazing. I have never seen a Black RTE before. How did you do it? Yeah. So a lot of the things that I'm doing now is here's the blueprint to how I did it.
That's dope. Yeah. That's dope. Yeah. My wife is a Scrum.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Scrum Masters.
So that's something that she wanted to do. I think she had an opportunity to, but she ended up going to like senior CRM role. Yeah. But I think, or CSM, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. But I think, like you said, with all the roles I've played, I don't think I've ever worked with a Black RTE. And I've been in a lot of different companies. Yes. I've never worked with a Black RTE. Not saying they don't exist because, you're here, but it's just,
it's not a lot of us in these spaces. And even when I was on my team at Deloitte, I was still the only Black RTE on my team.
Yeah.
Everybody else was white.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that just shows the importance of it.
It really does. It really does show the importance of it. But what I will say is, when I see other women in these spaces, I'm always very excited and very inspired to even know, how did you even get here?
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Exactly.
And then what can I do to even support you?
Yeah. That's good. That's good. So speaking of which, did you have mentors or anything like that?
So yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no, I would say. I was fortunate enough to build relationships with other people. Remember, in this space, a lot of people don't look like you in this space. So even if I had a mentor per se, you don't really understand me. I'm a Nigerian Black woman.
Yep.
What you gonna tell me that I need to know? You know what I mean? It's like my struggles are not your struggles.
Right.
It's very different. Because most of the time, the men that are in this space are older white men or older white women.
Gotcha.
And when you talk to them, their viewpoints are going to be very different. I think one of the biggest things that we don't talk about in my industry is the real estate network that you got to think about. Everybody comes in here thinking about, I got to get certified. I got to have the certification. I got to know the theory. I got to know the Scrum. It's not about that. It's about the relationships that you build. That's going to help you to navigate different situations and even getting the referral at different companies.
Right.
So that's something that I've had to learn. I remember I said I moved around a lot, and most of my movements came from referrals.
Yeah.
So in that regard, to answer your question, in a way, I did kind of have mentors, but I was always very inquisitive, and I was always very, I realized in this space, my superpower was the fact that I came from sales, and I used that to my advantage. Because most of the time you don't see people that understand business and understand technology. Yeah. So I started to become in that middle ground where I'm able to talk to business, able to talk technology. I understand how to kind of flex my muscles for both of those spaces. So that's kind of where my value proposition kind of came in.
No, that's good. Really good. Yeah. I think it was Joe. I was talking to Joe Tagwa from Authentic African, and we're talking about how most of the jobs that he's gotten, I think the last 3 roles he received were just through network. And these are like, high, I think like it was early 200s, payroll. So to me, like if you know the value of your network and you can leverage that, I think that's the next game changer for many people that they're not able to. I think a lot of people aren't grasping right now.
They don't understand that. And I think that's part of one of the reasons why I started to invest in having an accelerator program under Lincoln Power, because I did see that there are a lot of people that want to be Scrum Masters or come into the Agile space. They got the certifications, but they don't have the practicality. So there was a skill gap that was missing. And a lot of the recruiters that I would be in conversation with, I can't find any good Scrum Masters. There's not Scrum Masters that are able to do X, Y, Z. So there was a disconnect there because the focus is about theory, not really the practical things that you need to do. Like a stakeholder don't give a shit about your backlog. They're not worried about that. They want to know, how can you bring value into my company, especially now that we're in the situation that we're in. They want to know, how can you help that top line? Can you help to drive strategy? Can you become a strategic advisor? And not just being a Scrum Master. So I tell people now, don't focus on being a Scrum Master. The skill sets are there. They're not going to go nowhere. But focus on being more of a consultant, because that's what's going to make you win.
Nice.
Yeah.
With the onset of AI, how has that changed the
It has changed drastically. As I mentioned, you have to have a consultative mindset. So thinking of like a strategic thinker. How is this going to impact the business? Like, they want you to come in on day one, learning how to be of value to the team. And I think now, gone are the days where you just become a Scrum Master and you just running ceremonies. Like, we're past that. Like, you're not going into running ceremonies. Like, they're doing what I call the 2-for-1 deal now, which is you're gonna be a Scrum Master and a project manager, or you're going to be a crisis manager and a stakeholder manager. Like you pick your poison, basically.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of roles where like you mentioned, more so even the CSM and PO role, you know, where you like, you literally manage the product, but you're also leading a team that's building it out.
Absolutely.
So,
it's a 2-for-1 special.
Right.
You're not going to get paid. It's going to come a lot of headache. I don't recommend it, but if you are somebody who's interested in that space, it might be a good way for you to get your foot in and get your feet wet.
Right.
But for a high level, like mid-level career, that might not be a good strategy for you. You might want to go back and reassess, okay, what is my value proposition? How do I position myself? Like, what have I done in the past that I can just say, okay, now I'm going to become a digital transformation leader, or I'm going to become a consultant, or I'm going to be a strategic advisor, or I'll just focus more on the product side.
Gotcha.
There's different ways where you can kind of position yourself now.
Yeah, dope. Let's talk a little bit about Link Up. What is that?
Oh, small business link up.
Yeah.
So before we talk about small business link up,
okay,
I do kind of want to share a little bit about what Lincoln Power is.
Yep.
That's going to help for you to understand why we're doing what we're doing.
Perfect.
So Lincoln Power, I would say, is my legacy at this point.
Yeah.
It's been in existence for 5 years, and literally we link and empower individuals, businesses, and organizations through partnerships, programs, events, and social impacts. Okay. So part of what you're seeing here is we are doing small business link ups second Wednesday of the month. And this is for business owners to come to the Star Effect Studio, which we're in partnership with. So the Star Effect Studio is a Ghanaian owned brand, business located in Snellville. So if you live in Gwinnett, you know that we don't have a lot of spaces like this where businesses can come and network. Most of the time, we're doing the driving to the Gwinnett, to outside of Gwinnett, going to Buckhead, going to Atlanta. So the whole concept behind this is for a space for businesses to come and link up, to share resources, to network, and to empower each other.
Nice. And then how did you get started with it?
With small business link up, or just Lincoln Power in general?
Lincoln Power in general.
So Lincoln Power started off during COVID, 2020.
Okay.
Started off doing 2020.
So you were busy during COVID.
Oh yeah, I was busy. It was a lot going on. Yeah. I was going through life, career transition. It was just a lot going on. Gotcha. And I feel like because I'm a connector and I'm very extroverted, I was kind of building something that was selfish in a way. When I think about it, it was more for me. It wasn't for people. It was for me. It was like, hey, I want to just network with people. Let me find a way to just bring people together. And the way God does things, especially when it's purpose work, he kind of just allows you to kind of think that this is where he wants you to go. And then somewhere along the line, he kind of just like rips it all apart. And that's kind of what happened with Lincoln Power. It's like, go do self-work. Go figure out yourself. Go figure out what your values are. Because what I understood Lincoln Power to be was, it wasn't about me. Initially, it was about me. I was starting it from a selfish place. Yeah. And then it now kind of expanded more into being focusing on impacts. So I feel like God gave me the platform, which was Clubhouse, Instagram. Nice. He gave me the platform, gave me the influence. I built a career in this space. A lot of people were following me. My Instagram handle is Agile Bay. So a lot of the things that people were coming to me was about agility and Scrum, like how to get started. But I was like, you know what? It's more than that. Yeah. I don't want people to die on the hill of just being a Scrum Master or just 6-figure jobs. Yeah. There's life. There's a whole life outside of that. And I think sometimes when you do something for a long time, it becomes your identity. Right. So for me, building Lincoln Power has been a humbling reminder that whatever I'm doing with Lincoln Power has nothing to do with Nimi Bello. Exactly. They're two separate things. Yeah, I'm just the vessel that's driving the vehicle. That's really it. I'm just the person that God said, I pick you, get in the car, and I'm going to give you the directions and where we're going. Yeah. So that's kind of what I've had to learn during this journey. So working on my personal brand was where I kind of came up with, the whole Agile Bay movement, and it kind of just became its own thing that separated me away from Lincoln Power. So now with Lincoln Power, we've been able to launch programs like One Path Accelerator. We host an annual event called Agile and Brunch every year. We have a strong community on Slack. So it's just been growing. It's like it's a global ecosystem now. Yes. So we've done stuff in Nigeria. We're looking to do more expansion of things. I'm tired, y'all. But you know, God be the one that be like, go do this. I'm like, all right, cool. Just go do it. Yeah. But now with Small Business Link Up, there was a need for that. You know, we need a space for businesses to thrive. So it's not just focusing on just tech. Yeah. What are you doing with your tech money? Right. Are you investing in a business? Because look what's going on. People are getting laid off. Mm-hmm. How are you surviving? How are you going to thrive in this economy? Yep. So part of what I'm educating people on, it's not just being a Scrum Master or an Agilist. Yep. How do I take that to build something that is longstanding for myself? So that's kind of where we are with Lincoln Power. So many points there. Yes. I gotta hit on, man. So many points. I think number one, when we talk about identity, like I'm actually speaking at a event tomorrow, right. Where it's talking about just like wellness in general. Yes. And I think within the African community, especially, like we identify a lot with what we make and what we do. And what we do. Yes, who we are. Yes. And I think that is something that we really got to tailor and split
Absolutely.
From, Absolutely. It's really important. And I think because I'm going through it and I've gone through it, I feel like a lot of things for Lincoln Power in the beginning wasn't working because I didn't know who I am or who I was. Mm-hmm. So I needed to go through a season of who is Nimi Bello, not the person building Lincoln Power. Yeah. Because the person building Lincoln Power is the visionary and the head that just kind of says, hey, here's what I think we should do. But I've now learned that going through that season, it's made me more strategic and less emotional. Yeah. Like I've had to make a CEO decision this year with Agile and Brunch. Agile and Brunch had to be postponed. We're supposed to be going to Chicago next week. But with the current economic situation that we're in, people are going through layoff, sponsorships didn't hit the way it needed to hit. Yeah. I'm a Black-led organization. I had to reassess with my team. And I sat down with advisory and I was like, listen, we don't got the funds. Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah. And we have to pull the plug on it. Yeah. And I think I'm sharing these things as a transparency check for everybody else.
Love that.
Because I feel like when we talk about entrepreneurship, especially on social media, it looks like it's cute.
Everybody out here.
Yeah, it's cute.
Killing it.
It's real cute.
Right, yeah.
Entrepreneurship is not cute.
Yeah.
There's nothing cute about entrepreneurship. You're going to be in tears. Yeah, you're going to be grinding. Sometimes you will be broke.
Yep.
Extremely broke.
Yep.
Speaking from experience. And sometimes it's going to be a good day. Sometimes you can wake up and you got thousands in your account. And some days you're going to have zero in your account. Yep. But the vision still has to be executed. Yep. And I had to make a decision this year. I was like, listen, we're not doing Agile and Brunch. We got to postpone it. We're going to, work on different strategies. I wasn't sure, but we are still going to have it.
Yeah.
But y'all got to make sure y'all plug in. Y'all stay tuned. Because we are going to have it. We had an amazing lineup of speakers, but I'm sharing this to say that sometimes you can plan all the things you want to plan and it may not just happen. And the same thing goes with just having a 9-to-5. Right. A lot of people right now are scared. Yeah. You may get let go. Yeah. But what are you doing in the meantime to prepare for that?
Yeah. And I think it's courageous, honestly, like to, because you can literally go to self-assured and say, we're going to do this.
Exactly.
Like, regardless, we're going to do this. by willfire.
By fire, by force.
Yeah, we're going to do this. So, and I think that happens a lot, not just in our tech space, but especially within the African community as well.
Yes.
Where we force things that don't need to be forced. Like,
don't do that.
Sometimes just step back, reassess.
Just relax.
Right. And I think oftentimes it's because we have this image we want to portray. We have this thing of like, this is who we are. Going back to that.
Yep.
And because of that, we've put ourselves in a lot of circumstances that we don't need to.
You don't need to. You don't need to. And then sometimes God's will is God's will.
Yeah.
Like you can't force God's will.
Yep.
And I literally was like, listen, God, you gave me this vision. I don't got the funds. I'm gonna let you worry about it.
Right.
It's above me now.
Right.
Once it gets to it's above me now, you really gotta just let God come in and do what He does.
Yeah,
that's
step
it.
back. Yeah. I love that. And then another piece you touched on was going back to like the continent and kind of like doing stuff there.
Yes.
We all know about the brain drain that happens.
Yes.
And I love the fact that you are intentional about going back and helping our people.
Yeah, it's not a trend. You know, I think right now I'm seeing a lot of people are catching on like, hey, Africa's a future. Listen.
Yeah.
I get it, but we have real life issues happening on the continent.
Yep.
And I always tell Africans that all the things that we're doing here, it's also left for us to go look back home.
Yep.
Like, don't be so far away from home that you think that this is home. This is not home. Right. We're only here for a short period of time. Yep. And everything that you're learning here, you should be taking it to go and build our continent. Our continent is so beautiful and needs a lot of work. A lot of work has to be done. So I think for me, I take pride in being fortunate to just invest in a business. You know, I do a lot of different things out there. Outside of Lincoln Power, I also have a clothing brand in Nigeria. So I'm very invested in Nigerian fashion. As you can see today, I'm wearing a Nigerian brand, in case you didn't see it.
Dope.
Shout out to Makamba Official. I'll try to post the links because I know people are going to ask me about this outfit. But I'm very intentional, like even when we're talking about just speaking engagements, different platforms, showcasing African designers. It's important because we're in a time where I think a turning point is happening on the continent where people are looking at Africa, looking at what's going on, looking at different ways to invest. And I think part of the ways that we can start investing is through education. It's taking what we're learning here and having internship programs, opportunities, giving back. So whenever I'm home, I try to make sure that I'm invested in all those things as well.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's really good. I think real estate.
Yes.
You talked about it in terms of like, just like when you get into space, but in literally real estate, I think is another area where a lot of individuals are not leveraging, and not just in the U.S. There's a lot of communities like back in, I think it was 2019. I was looking at purchasing. This is like one of my screw ups I like to be realistic about where I'm at. There were apartments being sold in Accra, and they were going for like, I think 85K. They're now going for, I think, close to 3 now. And there's a lot of opportunities back on the continent. Even now in my country, like we're in the process of purchasing a couple of properties there. And I know within a couple of years that's going to expand because that's happened already in Gambia. You've seen that in Senegal. You've seen that in Tanzania, Nigeria. I know communities now. It's like, it's crazy to get in certain parts, right? Isn't there like $1 million like island or whatever it is? And
I think Khalees was talking about it recently. I seen something with.
I know DeVito and all those folks that live in that area.
I seen like Khalees recently. I think she has land in Kenya.
Okay.
And now what's happening is you got the Invest Fest people, Earn Your Leisure.
Okay.
They're in Africa right now. Gotcha. They're kind of going around doing their tour.
Nice.
And I love that we're doing this.
Yes.
I really, really love it. I just need people to understand that it's not a trend.
Right.
It's real life.
Right.
Like you got to start looking at what's going on the continent.
Yep.
If you're a black Americans,
invest early.
Yeah. Because a lot is about to shift and move on the continent. So I'm happy to see it.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
Yep.
So, it's up for Africa for that much.
Yeah. No, I mean, 100%. Khalees, I've watched a few of her videos as well where she promotes the content. She's been there for a while.
Oh, yeah, she's been
This isn't like something new for her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who are interested, there's many different opportunities. And going back to the real estate piece, there's a young lady named Jalika. She was on the pod. Maybe we actually just released an episode. She owns a couple of doors. We own a few doors as well here. And we're hoping to connect with Yamu, Building Wealth. I forget what her Instagram handle is, but she has like 80 properties in the U.S. and she's linked up with Don Jazzy and a few other folks as well. She's doing really good. She's killing the game.
Nice.
Love that. But she's been talking about this for years now. And I think for those who are in the tech space, layoffs is now that sort of waking, it's like, dang, I wish I had put my money into this.
Exactly.
Instead of, balling out, thrilling, all those other things.
And it's just like the six figures, y'all. We've been there, done that.
Yeah.
It's like we gotta
What's
think
next?
bigger than that.
Exactly. Yep.
The six figures is a handshake at this point.
Yep. Yep.
So there's so much more to consider and to invest in. So no, I have been in the headspace for the last how many years of not just being six figures is the only main goal.
Right.
That's just a starting point. There's so much more that we can use to amplify our income in different spaces. So
yeah. No, that's really good. What other things do you do investment wise?
Oh man, this is a really good question. So I haven't gotten into stocks. I need to.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm looking for a really good financial planner. If I can find somebody that can just help to take the stress and the headache.
Yeah.
I'm Gucci.
Gotcha.
I know my strengths.
Yeah.
I know my strengths, and definitely want to do more real estate stuff on the continent.
Okay.
Definitely want to do more stuff in agriculture as well, because I know that is something that is slept on a lot, is agriculture business. So looking at different ways, and honestly, the more I think about what we're doing with Lincoln Power, I'm thinking about how can I even get an office, like a creative space, where I can even have resources work out of. I know a lot of the issues for most people is light, a constant source of just infrastructure, different things. So I'm looking at doing that long term, is just having a different hubs in different across Africa.
Gotcha.
Actually, I gotta stop thinking small. So across Africa, having different hubs, and then where we're using Lincoln Power as a footprint, it now truly becomes a global platform and a global brand. Yeah. And then we have partnerships across the board and different things. So for me, I want to work smarter. Yeah. I don't want to work harder. So I'm looking for people that would like to partner in different capacity to be able to amplify the impact. That's really it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your staff, talk a little about your staff. Where your staff based?
So most of my interns are across the US. Okay. And then also in Nigeria. So a little bit about the One Path Accelerator program. What we do is we have a cohort. It says 10-month long cohort. And we give you the opportunity to work on different projects internally.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Agile and Burnt is a project. We're expanding into the government contracting space. So there's a lot of different opportunities that the way that we build Lincoln Power, it's like multiple personalities of different things. So you just take your pick wherever you fit in. If it's the business arm, technology arm, take your pick. So as we're building it, I'm understanding that workforce development is a priority. So we have the overall priority, which is Lincoln Power. And then next to that is the workforce development piece, because we're seeing a lot of skill gaps issues, especially with AI. And a lot of individuals that are in the program are trying to be better communicators, are trying to understand how do I run a business? How do I level up in my career? Just different things that school can't teach you. Yeah. So we are solving for the issues that a lot of companies are complaining about. How can I hire somebody and they don't even know how to send an email? Yeah, yeah. So a lot of the things that we're doing with the Accelerator program is we're going through transformation. Okay. So transformation is what the focus is. So we're going to have info sessions coming up in a few weeks. Nice. So all you got to do is join the info session, and then applications will open up in July, and then we will go live with the cohort in September.
Nice. Dope. Yeah. How are you training these folks?
So we have different individuals who have experiences. So we have a program manager. We have somebody who helps me with operations, JP Morgan. So we have a lot of heavy hitters. We have support from technologists of color. Okay. So a lot of partners are also heavily invested in the Accelerator program, because we're still in the pilot phase, but this is going to be the first year that we're actually going to start charging for the program. Nice. Because there's a lot of value being given. Yeah. But for the continent, we're still trying to figure out what does that look like as far as payments is concerned, because we know that affordability is a little bit different over there. But nonetheless, we've had a lot of engagement from there. So now we're looking at having an individual who's going to be solely just hyper focused for the Nigerian markets.
Okay.
And then we're going to want to expand it across Africa. So this year we're looking at having at least 2 to 3 cohorts running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the, I guess the extended
it's all
team.
hands. Yeah. So it's we use Jira, Confluence, Gemini, like all the tools you can think of that a lot of people are not familiar with.
Okay.
We put you in the situation of learning how to utilize those tools in the program.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what about the internal team like this? Yeah. Your exec board, are you the sole owner?
I'm the sole owner.
Okay.
I'm the sole owner.
Okay.
But eventually the way Lincoln Power is shaping, right now I have a COO.
Okay.
He's somebody that I've mentored, and he's kind of like been invested in his development.
Nice.
So he is somebody who's also even giving not only sweat equity, but also financially invested in the company because he sees the vision of Lincoln Power. So I think eventually there is going to be an opportunity for co-ownership.
Gotcha.
The way it's going organically is just, there's going to be different pockets of co-ownership.
Nice.
I know for me, eventually, I just want to be in visionary headspace and just drive this.
Yeah.
I have no desire in holding on to this forever.
Okay.
Not saying that I want to sell it. That's not what I'm saying. We are going to be open to selling. Like if we have an application, we can sell it. Like I'm open to selling One Path Accelerator.
Yeah.
I know that there's companies that may want my framework. I can sell it if I want to. So I'm doing smart business. I don't want to do hard business.
Yeah.
So, but Lincoln Power overall will be held, obviously owned by me.
Yep.
But as we continue to expand, these are things that you want to think about. And I think sometimes as Black people, we get attached to what we're building and you can't see the possibility of how you can sell it, flip it, get a bag and move on to something else. Yeah. The ideas are always going to be there. Once you're visionary, you're visionary. Yeah. It's not going to go nowhere. So I think for me, I'm learning to have those conversations with myself. Yep. And even as I'm speaking about it now, I'm affirming the ideas that I've had in my mind. And what happens if Lincoln Power has a university? Yeah. What am I going to do with that? Right. You know, what if somebody wants to buy that university? Right. Am I okay with that? So for me, it's not just building things. It's building things that are going to be tangible and also profitable as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the exit process is something that not a lot of folks are familiar with, what that looks like. Like building something valuable and then selling it and then retaining maybe some sort of...
Like, listen, I'm tired. Listen, I've been hustling for a long time. Yeah. And it gets to a place where the mindset is not hustling, is working smarter. So I'm looking at tapping into my soft girl era at some point where Lincoln Power is fully operating, it's making millions, we're doing all the things. Right. That's where I'm visualizing myself. I'm visualizing myself being a creative chief officer and then saying, hey, here you go. Find a CEO to run the company. You deal with the headache. Y'all just call me when we're talking about numbers and where I got to put my mouth and tell y'all where we're driving this vehicle. That's where I'm trying to be. Gotcha. And I think sometimes a lot of Black women are afraid to say these things out loud. But I'm learning to like affirm myself on the things that I want and how I visualize my life. Gotcha. Also. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So next 3 to 5 years, what does that look like for you?
Next 3 to 5 years? That's a loaded question. 3 to 5 years, I'm going to be fully in my soft girl era. Okay. I will be on the yachts. My soft girl era, it's low lift. Okay. Gotcha. Low lift, traveling, being bougie, whatever that means. Being bougie, doing a lot of social impact work, excuse me. So for me, it's traveling, exploring different things, doing a lot of speaking engagements. That's how I really visualize myself, honestly. Like gotcha. I have done the work. And then in the next 3 to 5 years, obviously things like the small business link up will probably be a little bit more expansive. Yep. We'll probably have different programs, events, different things. And I'll just be living my life. Honestly, I'll be living my life. Money's going to be right. Because right now we're still building. Yeah. We're still building. Slow gains are coming in. But once it kind of takes off, I do want to be in the headspace of I want to drive the vision. I want to get out the way. And I kind of just want to be behind the scenes and let other people lead. That's
Gotcha.
it.
I'm assuming, want to retire back
Right.
home.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely want to.
Are you
I
doing
want to
it?
have like multiple vacation homes.
Okay. Okay.
heavy on multiple vacation homes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Often do you go back?
I try to go back once a year.
Okay.
Twice a year if things are looking good.
Okay.
But I do a lot of different things home, so
Gotcha.
being on ground is good.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm definitely excited to kind of see where, things go with Lincoln Power.
Thank you.
And we're definitely going to stay connected for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Follow us, connect with us, show up to our events, join our newsletter. We have a lot of amazing things in a pipeline. This is year 5 for us. We want to keep on building this engine and just, see where it goes. So thank you.
I mean, that's huge. Year 5. Not a lot of people get to say that. Yeah, that's huge.
Yes. So I'm excited. I'm excited for all things with One Path Accelerator, Agile and Brunch, our partners. Shout out to all of our partners. It definitely takes a village for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. So if people wanted to get in touch with you,
Absolutely.
what are some ways?
So there's multiple ways. For the people that are polished and LinkedIn, Nimi Bello. Yes, polished. That was being sarcastic. So Nimi Bello on LinkedIn. That's NIMIBELLO on LinkedIn. If you're a little bit vibes, real life, lifestyle, that's on my Instagram, Agile Bay. I'm Agile Bay on all platforms. You can find me everywhere. Lincoln Power as well. So LINK Empower. And all you need to do literally is just to go to nimibello.com, and everything that I just said is on my website.
Nice.
So how to plug in with the different things that I do, my speaking engagements, my my professional portfolio, everything is on my link on my website as well. So nimibello.com.
Okay. And then lastly, since we have this flyer,
Yes.
just give a quick reminder about the
Small Business Link Up, second Wednesdays of every month. Pull up. We have one coming up. I don't know when you're dropping this podcast, but every second Wednesday of the month, pull up on us. The information is on our website, lincolnpower.com. So I'm looking forward to linking up with y'all.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely be attending, and we'll do some promo videos, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Nimi, thank you so much for being here. All of her information will be on wherever you're watching this, Instagram, YouTube, wherever. We'll have all her contact info there, so you can hit us up or hit her up. And for us, if you have any follow-up questions, you can hit us up at africansinTechnology@gmail.com. Again, it's africansinTechnology@gmail.com. My name is Sarlebi. This is Africans in Tech, where we're building bridges and shaping futures in tech. All right, fam.